All right, people, this is the Union Tapes episode number 8, and it's with a guy called Eric Steele. Eric was a name that flew just under the radar in the BMX time of the early 80s. He was in BMX from the start, but didn't get much recognition until around the mid-80s when he became a regular fixture in many of the magazines back then. They all called him Crazy Eric because of the seemingly insane moves he used to try. He was pushing the envelope back then a lot and attempting what everyone thought was impossible. I don't think many people quite know how progressive things got at a certain point in Eric's riding. He was airing opposite direction and switching feet when no one was even thinking about that sort of stuff. Inventor of the BMX hand plant, and as far as we know, in 1986 Eric scored the first print pics of anyone doing 540s. And this 540 was 5 feet out. We get into all sorts of things in this interview. We get into him riding for Kuwhara for 48 hours, making his own knee saver bars before knee savers even existed, hole shot contests, all the iconic ramp jams of the 80s, BFA contests, riding for Skyway, and pretty much everything else. Enjoy! And if you like what you hear and see, give us a like, comment and subscribe, or a subscribe, like and comment. Or a comment, like, subscribe, or whatever they say. Thank you. Alright, man, so first of all we're going to start with like the obvious stuff, like just give us a brief history of like where you were born and raised and the sort of early life stuff basically.
Born and raised Harlow, Essex.
So,
right.
You were born and raised in Harlow, yeah?
Yeah.
So what, you grew up in Harlow, and what did you get into, like, when you was a kid?
I was skating from the age of 10.
That's what I was going to ask you, yeah.
Right up until all the skate parks closed. And then we just got into bikes, just jumping around and stuff.
So was there a local skate park in Harlow?
Yeah. It was a wooden one.
Oh, yeah?
Metal frame, wooden cover. It was all right. It was all right. They had 3 half pipes, no flat bottom, no platform. And then they split one in half and made it into like and put it in front of the slalom ramp so you could do like bigger airs on it without having to work up and stuff. And there was a lot of concrete about, not far away.
Yeah.
In them days, there was skate parks everywhere, man. That was like the 70s.
So that was the skate boom of 77, yeah? 78?
Yeah, 77, 78. It used to go all round, mate, everywhere.
Oh, amazing. I didn't know any of this, yeah. So you was quite into skating then if you was travelling to do it?
Well, yeah. We used to skate everywhere, man.
Oh, what was...
Hemel Hempstead, the old one in London, just opposite South Bank. There was one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mad Dog Bowl, Hemel Hempstead, Stevenage, Nebworth, Rom. Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, that's right.
Mad Dog Bowl.
Mad Dog Bowl was in South London, yeah?
Yeah. Old Kent Road, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah. And what was the one on the Thames? That wasn't Rolling Thunder, that was Skate City. You skating at basically all the London skate parks and the ones around the edges, yeah?
Yeah, Woking as well was good. And there was one at Windsor Safari Park, which was awesome. That was an indoor wood one. That was good.
Fucking hell. These are a lot of these places
and
I've not heard
again,
of.
Isn't it?
Oh, mate. All right.
Right, we're good. Livingston as well. My nan lived up by Livingston, so I went there quite often as well, skating it.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, yeah, that's a fuck. So when you was... That was brand new, right? Livingston had only just arrived when you probably skated it.
Yeah. Oh, well, it skated Rom the first month. It was built.
Fuck. I suppose they were all brand new back then because that was early days, wasn't it? So
Yeah, yeah.
man.
Don't forget, this is early 70s. I've been skating since.
Fucking hell.
I rode in the British skateboarding championships in '77.
Oh yeah. Where was that?
That was at. I've been told it was at the Windsor Safari Park, the indoor wooden one.
Oh, okay.
But I remember riding it. I remember skating in it, and it was mad.
So that was big time.
We were like, yeah, it was massive, man. We were like number 176 or something like that in the under 14s or something.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was.
That was like what, the UK skate team or?
So yeah, UK championship or something.
All right.
All the big boys were there at the time.
Fucking hell, Americans?
No, I don't know.
No?
It was British.
Just UK guys.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good stuff. That yeah. So how did you stumble across like bikes then?
Well, all the skate parks shut down. They're all closing. And the one in Harlow got split up. They moved it to all parts of. Just split it up. Moved some bits to some parts of the town, some bits to the other, and you couldn't get around really on a skateboard. Well, you could, but it was hard work. And we just got into jumping bikes and stuff.
What, you got into jumping BMXs or just any bikes at the time?
Yeah, BMXs.
Okay. So how early was it? What was this, 1980 or something?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, something like that. There was bikes earlier. We used to ride bikes in the skate park, just for a laugh. But everything was totally gone by the time we started riding.
All right.
You just go around jumping, and I think Zach said we just get chased by the police and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was fun when we were. That was what we used to do when we were kids.
And so, where did you see your first BMX?
Darren Robinson, I believe.
Oh, right, yeah.
Had a Mongoose motor mag. That was the first one we seen.
And then
we all got into roller skating.
Oh, okay.
I was playing roller hockey after all the skaters started playing roller hockey, and he turned up on his BMX there, and we was all having a go.
And then
that was the first one I ever seen.
And then what did you see, like magazines and TV stuff, or that was early?
No, it was before it was on the TV. We had magazines and stuff then.
All right.
It had been BMX Plus, the dead early ones.
Yeah. Oh, nice, man. So then I guess you saw that BMX, and you wanted a piece of that, didn't you? So that's what we all did, but.
Yeah, but we were riding before that. We had like Schwinn race bikes, 20-inch, but with grifter wheels on and grifter handlebars. And that was our BMXs at the time, because you just couldn't get them.
They was too new. You couldn't get them. Yeah, they was rare in the UK, right? Yeah. So you was doing BMX riding, but on a like modified bike.
Yeah, like the old Schwinn 20 inches.
Yeah. And what was like the sort of the first BMX mag you saw? Can you remember that?
Yeah, I think it was a BMX Plus.
All right, US one.
BMX Plus. Yeah. I actually pulled a picture up the other day on Facebook. It's there was some guy in it doing a tabletop, and he's giving it the V signs. I've got it on my phone somewhere there, and I thought, yeah, that's the first one I ever seen. I thought, yeah, we'll have some of that.
Did you ever race BMX?
No, never.
No, okay.
There was a racetrack. We all used to just race round it, but not proper. Just like lads having a laugh and that.
Yeah.
We always used to just do the jumps on it.
yeah. Just go there and get air. That was the normal thing for most local kids then, wasn't it?
Yeah. But there was a lot of paddling pools around Harlow, like concrete paddling pools, and we always used to do jumps and kick turns and stuff on them,
All right.
and jumping out of them and stuff.
So, can you remember what your first real BMX was?
PK Ripper, it was.
Oh yeah.
But I only had it for a couple of days. I only had it for a day or something, and then I changed it to a Pro Star.
Oh fucking hell! Let's come down, won't it?
Yeah, yeah.
What? What happened there?
I got over. You spent how much?
What's that? Oh,
I got over it. How much was that? Blah, 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 blah. How much? No, you're not spending that on a bike. And then it went back. My mum and dad took it back and come back with a Pro Star. That was Alpine Sports.
Oh yeah, I know it.
Oh, beautiful black one with gold stickers on it. And I had it for a day, I think. Travelled home on the train with it from London, and then it went back the next day.
Oh wow!
They never even built it.
Oh, so how did you pay for that then? Did you have cash or?
Well, I had a paper round and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man! And they just weren't happy with you spending that amount of money on the bike, I guess.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So it was like the local BMX crew, like when you first got into it. Like, what was the scene?
Well, I don't know. It was just lads hanging about, wasn't it? It's just, I don't know. It was
like teenage guys, yeah.
Yeah, just teenage guys hanging about. Yeah, and Zach Shaw was like tiny at the time, but Darren Robinson we used to hang around with quite a lot.
All right.
But he lived at the other end of town. But everyone used to just meet up in town like big gangs, and Harlow town centre's like a massive, great paved area.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
And just used to get chased all the time.
What did you ever? There was quite a big like skinhead and punk scene in Harlow, weren't there, back in the day?
What? Sorry.
Quite a big punk and skinhead scene back in them days.
Well, I wouldn't know.
No, oh, I remember my mum took me there a couple of times, and I always remember like seeing like some heavy punk scene there back in the sort of
but
mid-80s or something.
Yeah. We were on our bikes, not bothered with that stuff.
I just wondered if you riled those guys up as well.
Probably.
Yeah. And then like, where was the first like quarter pipe that you rode then?
What, on a bike?
Yeah, on a BMX. Yeah.
We used to build them in the old markets, the old marketplace. All boards just like racked up. They all used to move. Used to hit it a couple of times. They'd all slide back down again, and then I think we built one in my mate's back garden. It was one sheet of pliers. It was only like 5.5 foot high, or maybe shorter, and we used to ride that.
Oh yeah.
Just a bit, and then Darren had one in his back garden, which was a lot bigger. And then it was just Rom then from then on.
Oh, so you discovered Rom. Obviously, you knew it from skating, so.
Yeah, I'd skated it quite a few times, but we never even thought about going on a bike.
All right.
And then we went to Earls Court. I couldn't even remember why at the time, but I've since been told Bob Harrow was there, and you couldn't get near the place. And like there was queues and queues outside, and everyone was going, we're all going Rom. So we went Rom, and there was Marco Lara jumping tyres and stuff out the reservoir. And that was it then. Every weekend from then on, Rom.
Hooked on it,
It was like, yeah.
What was that, like 82, 83, you think? 82, probably.
Probably, yeah, something like that.
Oh, man. And who else? Can you remember the other sort of big names at Rom then? Or was this too early?
Oh, it was before. There was Marco and the local guy called, is it Pikey Paul? He was the top rider at the time. And then Chris Young used to turn up, Billy Stupple, but they were all unsponsored then.
Yeah.
You see Craig used to come now and then, and later on Neil, but that was quite a bit later on. In them days, it was just like you just used to follow each other around.
Yeah.
Used to be big chains going around Rom.
Yeah.
Like, who was leading? Like, and it got dangerous at times. Where they suddenly just disappear into the pool, and you go, "What are you doing, man?" And then you'd have to follow.
Oh man, Marco comes up quite often. Like in every interview we've done with UK guys, Marco comes up all the time. Yeah, a bit of a pioneer, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was mad. He had a special presence about him.
He's got quite a good mythical aura going on these days, where he just talks about, but no one knows where he is or where he went or anything. No one's seen him, so yeah.
He was doing like 540s in the Cloverleaf before like anyone even thought about it. And he was doing mad no-anders back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
He used to turn up, kids were jumping like 5 tyres, Marco would do 10 with the top one turned on its side, and he'd do a no-ander and take his hat off. He'd be going, "What the hell, man?"
Yeah, proper ridiculous.
And he used to do his 540s. He used to do like a 360 and then kick turn the rest.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
in the Clover. Yeah.
I remember I went to the King of the Skateparks in '84, and I never knew people could do 540s, and he did one in that, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was just blown away. Yeah, never. Did
you see me talking? Did you see me talking him into it?
No. Was it? Oh, you was there?
Man, yeah, I was there. I was.
Okay.
I was going, "Marco, just do it in there, man. It'll be easier. And he's going, "No." And he did it.
Well, so
I was talking to him all the way through. Yeah.
He'd not done it before that contest in the performance.
No.
Oh,
never.
Amazing!
I think he did. I think the week before or something, he'd done it at the side bit.
Okay.
He used to carve round. You know, the right hand side as you're going in. It used to be like nearly vert, didn't it?
Yeah, it bumps out.
And then it mellowed out. I think he tried a couple there, and he's going, yeah, they're doable. Because he was getting over the 360. I said, just do it straight on. It'd be cool. Yeah, because I had a broken hand at the time.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't ride in that one.
I was going to ask you why you didn't ride that. Yeah. So that explains it.
I'd hung up in the halfpipe. I'd hung up in the halfpipe and broke my thumb, so I couldn't ride in that one.
I think I remember you at Rom with a cast one day. Actually, I only saw you at Rom once, so that would have been then, I guess. So you was just like pilgrimaging to Rom pretty much as often as you could. You didn't used to go. Was there other places that you guys used to go, or it was just mostly Rom?
No, it was Rom.
Just dedicated, yeah.
You didn't need anything. You didn't need anything else, did you?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And so
yeah, it had everything.
So what did you draw influence from at this point in time in BMX? Like, as it was quite early. The other guys there.
Yeah. You just what was going on, and you'd see someone do something, and then you'd think, "Oh, what about if you did this?"
Because it's quite a good talent pool, wasn't it?
Yeah, when we were first going, no one was even doing aerials. It was just it was either jumping out or dropping in.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So you basically saw airs come along, like the progression of it.
Yeah. I've got a picture of it. I've got sent it by one of the Harlow lads there. A first look back air that I've ever seen from really? Early 80s. Yeah. And I thought, oh man, I think I've sussed them a bit better than that.
No, I remember some good ones in actually, like on Facebook, I've seen some good ones, but some good ones in the mag as well, like where you're fully cranked in.
You want to see this one? It's halfway up the performance bowl, and it's like dire, but it's early on, man.
Yeah, it's progression, isn't it? You've got to go and come from
Yeah,
somewhere.
you've got to learn, haven't you?
Yeah. So, also, like, saw that interview you did where you're talking about the hand plant, and I'd never heard that story before. And that must be around this time, yeah?
Possibly a bit later on.
A bit later, so we're kind of in '84, and airs are just like becoming the norm at this point.
Yeah, probably. It was after the King of the Skateparks, definitely.
Okay, so what sort of airs was you doing, like around that sort of time of King of the Skateparks?
Oh, I actually broke my thumb trying what we called Wilton airs at the time. One 1 foot X-ups. That's how I broke my thumb. Right,
I know
I
what
blamed
Wilton
it
is.
before my hand was back on.
All right, so you could do that, yeah?
Yeah. That was
wow.
Round about then.
So that was well advanced for that point in time, wasn't it? For a variation on an air.
Yeah.
Like if someone did a one hand 1 foot, they were kind of in the mags, like.
Yeah. That was
Oh,
yeah. That's how I broke my thumb then.
What, you was doing them in the half pipe?
Yeah. Yeah, the bit where it's cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. You get in out the vert at one side and then hit it in the half pipe the other side.
So you carried speed easier.
Yeah, but hooked up easier.
Oh man! So give us the story of the hand plant, because I was really interested in that when you were selling that before.
I don't know. It was like a dead day at Rom. Nothing was going on really, and do you know of Andy Peerless?
Yeah, I know Andy Peerless.
He said, "Why don't you do a hand plant?" I was like, "Fuck off, mate! What are you doing?" And he spent like about an hour with me in the pool, just working up. And I was going, yeah, and then hit a couple, maybe one or two on the coping, and I thought, yeah, these are doable, man. And then like just put it away, just didn't think about it again until. You know, it's in the back of your mind, like I can do these. These are like doable, and that's where it come from. But doing them in the Rom pool is different to anywhere else on the planet, I guess, because it's over vert, isn't it? Slightly.
Yeah, well over vert.
And it's got the coping, and you can adjust your speed perfectly there, just depending on where you start from. That's what I've found out to be the main. What made it easy was getting your speed just right.
Because it's tight, yeah.
Because you can, depending on where you start, is how fast you're going.
Yeah.
So you're just rolling, aren't you? Rather than pedaling up to it, trying to think how fast am I going here?
Yeah.
Whereas you just say, right, if I just go back another foot or two, then that's it, about there. You know exactly how fast you're going, and it's a lot easier to judge speed and stuff in the pool than it is anywhere else.
It's a timing thing.
It's a speed thing.
Okay.
You go too fast and you're flying.
Yeah.
Don't go high enough. You've got to get your speed just right.
Yeah.
That's the hard bit about them, I guess.
So did you pull one that first session you was trying them?
Yeah.
And Andy Peerless was a roller skater. Maybe some people, probably a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I started at the bottom. Or I started halfway up. So it was like progression up. And because of the way the pool is, the bike kind of just follows the natural curve. And being a skater, I used to do them anyway.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a good missing piece there, yeah. So I didn't realise that, yeah.
But the thing is, the strange thing is, when I was skating, I used to do them the opposite direction which is I don't understand either. I used to do front side when I was skating, but back side when I was on a bike. It's nuts.
Yeah, but
I used to wear the other way on a skateboard as well, which I don't understand either.
Front side and back side, I guess. Yeah, it depends on what. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you pulled that first one, like what was the general, like who was, what did they say? Like that's like mind blowing at that time, right? It's 85 or whatever, yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, probably. Yeah, no one was about. It was a dead day. No one. It was just me and Andy there. Really, no one was there. It was dead that day.
That's insane, yeah. So do you land with both feet on, or do you let your feet come off?
If it hadn't been dead, yeah. If it hadn't been dead, it wouldn't have happened. Because when it'd been riding the performance pole or whatever with the general jam that used to go down on a busy day,
yeah,
it wouldn't have happened.
But that rumour must have spread though, right? You did a hand plant, like.
Yeah, but no one was there to see it.
But you and Peerless.
Yeah, probably.
You just kept it stum, like.
Yeah, just one of them, wasn't it?
No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
Amazing.
It didn't seem like it at the time.
Well. So
there's loads of stuff used to go down that wasn't a big deal at the time.
I guess I remember hearing.
And you don't really think about it until later. Think, that happened.
Yeah, I remember hearing stories of Marco doing 720s like in the 80s, and same thing. It wasn't like pronounced as a major fanfare or anything. It was just like, oh yeah, Marco was doing 720s. You know, like I suppose that's the same sort of category. Like
when Marco used to do his 540s in the cloverleaf, he used to practice them for nearly get it, and then he'd ride out of one, and it was like, yeah, all right, and then just carry on.
Yeah,
it wasn't like, Christ Almighty, he's just pulled the first 540 ever there.
Yeah.
Even when he done that one in the competition, no one went that mad over it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
It was just like, oh yeah, whatever. He just spun around on his. It wasn't a big deal at the time, was it? For some reason.
Yeah, it's true. I remember they talked him into doing a 720. You remember that? Sam Woods was like, "Oh, why you do a 720?" In the performance, he landed backwards and just fell off. Like,
yeah.
But it wasn't like a major deal. It's a major deal to me now. I'm like, what the hell? So you end up on riding for Faze 7.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Who did you know from skating? You knew those guys.
I kind of knew Joe from skating because there was another skate park at Waltham Cross, like a fiberglass one, and I'm sure he lived not far from it.
Enfield, he lived.
I seem to, probably. I had it in my mind that he lived not far from Waltham Cross, from the actual skate park.
Yeah, that's not far.
Probably. It's years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he used to sell stuff out of his back garden, out of his back room. It was skateboard stuff and stuff. So I kind of knew him, and then I got a Curtis off him a few years later. When we was into riding bikes, and I had it for quite a while, and it got bent. But they used to have a big warranty on them, like a 3-year warranty or something, or a year warranty. We took it back. It goes, it's bent, right? He goes, yeah, I know. He'd already heard about me riding.
Okay.
Whereas someone had seen it. Whereas someone had seen this guy on the Curtis at Rom.
Yeah.
So he already knew what the bike had been through. And he did replace it, but I got sponsored by him at the time. He said, you can have it as long as you wear a shirt. And then it was quite a bit to do with Jess as well, because Jess was riding for him.
All right.
And I think I think Jess had a word as well at the time.
So you was riding with Jess at Rom, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't recall riding with Jess until that conversation with Joe had got. There's that many kids riding at Rom.
Yeah.
I must have, but just not twigged.
Yeah. Well, you had the picture. You guys had the picture, didn't you? The double Airs.
Yeah. Are you going to ask it? Are you going to ask about that? Are you?
No. You just reminded me of it.
Go on, ask the question.
What? No, it wasn't you. I just remember the picture. I've got the mag with that in. Yeah. That was on the Curtis.
Yeah. That was a photo session early on for Phase 7. The skate park was dead, and there was 2 teams had turned up with Phase 7 and Skyway, and it went mental that day. And that was the picture that came out. It was taken about an hour and a half before the end of the session. It was like the first picture that Joe took that day.
All right.
And apparently the rest got censored by the Skyway manager.
Oh, I know. I've heard a bit about the Skyway manager.
And that's as far as we'll go on that conversation. Joe was absolutely fuming.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, he was steaming.
Oh, man, I never heard that story at all. Yeah, that both teams were at Rom. That's cool, yeah.
Oh, that was a proper session that day. It went proper off that day. It was mad.
So that would have been Neil, Craig, Stupple, maybe?
No. Billy had left by then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, us 4.
All right. Oh, man. So what, did you ride many contests in 84?
84? No.
No.
I had a broke my thumb. Couldn't ride the King of the Skate Parks. That was it. There was that thing at the Isle of Dogs.
That's right. Yeah.
That was like I got my thumb out of a cast, or was it the other way around?
I think Isle of Dogs was after. I think.
Right. Yeah. So I had me hand out of a cast for like a week before the Isle of Dogs thing, and I broke my ankle at the Isle of Dogs thing. And my mum and dad were like, "What are you doing, man? You've just been 4 weeks in a cast, and you're now another 6 weeks in a cast. 2 weeks later."
How did you break that?
It was later on after the photo session. There's the photo that everyone seems to have with Jess. I think Craig's in it, isn't he?
Yeah, 5 of them. Yeah.
And there was another picture taken like a minute after with another 5. And Neil Ruffles at one end, I'm in the middle, and then I can't remember who the other ones were. But there was originally 2 pictures. There was that one, and then there was a second one.
Okay.
And we were just messing about afterwards, because it was like they were like probably the top riders in London at the time, all together on these quarter pipes.
Yeah.
And it turned into a bit of a sesh afterwards. And I'd canyoned between two of the quarter pipes, and some cameraman had stuck his camera on the landing ramp. I was just smacked straight into him and broke my ankle. And probably his face as well.
So you probably still in cast when Whole Shot that year happened, right? Well, it was British Champs or whatever.
Back out of cast again, ready for Whole Shot.
But the first Whole Shot was like 84, but it wasn't called Whole Shot. It was called something else. Do you remember that? It was at Sobel Centre, but it was like British Freestyle Champs or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that one, or am I thinking of the next one? I'm thinking of the.
You're thinking of the next one. I've got a question for you on the next one because the next one's quite a legendary tale as well. I've heard from a few people. So
then I wasn't at the first one then.
Okay, so I'm guessing
because you're going to mention the second one.
I'm guessing the first one you still in cast. You must have been, otherwise you'd have been there.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So are you counting it? I've done 3.
Yeah, I know. I was not at one of them, and I was at the other 2. So I know the ones. Yeah, I know the one. I know the infamous one. Yeah.
Right. So you was at that one?
No, I wasn't at that one. I was at the one after. Right. But I've heard the story a few times, which is
right. Go on then.
No, but I'm not there yet.
Go on then, get it done.
No, we're not on that bit yet.
Okay.
So, who was your riding crew at this point in time?
What, round 84, 85?
Yeah, Phase 7 crew.
Yeah, I just used to hang out with Jess and I used to go to London at the weekend. I'd ride with Jess and Nick Phillips. Because we used to just, that was it then at the time. And Darryl Robinson during the week, because he was just the other end of town for me. And Rom. That was it, really.
Okay, so you used to ride Jess's ramp, I take it?
Yeah.
I see some good photos from that, actually. What I wanted to ask you about the, remember the picture of you, which I guess you was doing at Wilton? There was a barrel picture where you've got both hands going downwards. It looks like you're trying to Wilton. Yeah. You were trying to Wilton.
That was at BMX Beat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, yeah.
Yeah, I was first reserve or something.
Oh, okay.
I didn't actually make the TV because no one got injured, but I was first reserve.
All right. And you was trying to Wilton, I take it, in that picture?
Yeah, we just in practice, yeah.
Yeah. I always wondered that. It always looked like that, yeah. So, how was that riding Jess's ramp with Nick Phillips and that? Was there anyone else who used to ride there with you?
Possibly. Craig turned up later on the halfpipe, but he used to just have a quarter pipe to start with.
That's right, yeah.
That was right at the bottom of his garden and used to air. And there'd be nothing behind you. Just it was on a top of a hill, and it was the scariest thing ever.
Yeah,
just down this little bit of the side of the garden, and then boom, this quarter pipe. It's just on the top of this hill with nothing behind you.
It's right near Highgate Tube Station, isn't it, where he used to live?
Yeah. It's right on the top of the hill. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. And what about Dave Curry? Was he about at this point in time?
Yeah, I used to ride Ron with Dave all the time.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the Ron boys.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He'd Wednesday night was Dave's, always be there on a Wednesday, and Saturday, Sunday, Dave, quite a lot.
Yeah, I remember he was there a few times that I went when I was a youngster, yeah.
Yeah. And it was always during the summer, there was a third session.
Oh, late night, yeah?
Yeah, late night during the summer. Wednesdays, Saturdays. I'm not sure about a Sunday, but definitely Saturdays and Wednesday.
When was that, 85 or something? So it was buzzing then.
Yeah. It was rammed, man. Yeah. Yeah. Used to get home at God knows what time. Have to get up for college or whatever.
And then so in 85 you started getting quite a bit of coverage. I'd flick through the mags today, funnily enough. And
right.
Yeah. There's you was in them frequent. So was that most of that stuff shot by TLB?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we've done a photo session at Jess's house and Nick's house same day. That was on the bright orange Performer.
That's it.
That's the one. That was Nick Phillips' house, that one.
What, he had a quarter as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know that, yeah.
Oh, man, that was nuts. He had his actual garden was dead tiny, and the quarter pipe went the whole width of the back garden. And you had the run-up was down the alleyway, and you had to turn your handlebars halfway down to Mr. Drainpipe. It was that narrow, and then it just used to open up into the back garden, and the quarter pipe was the whole width of the garden, and then you had to land and slam on before you went into his bedroom.
So that's the picture of you doing like the can. It's on that quarter.
Yeah, okay. That one, yeah.
And then like, is that where Nick had the cover doing that one? Do you remember the cover? Yeah, doing the 1 footer with the wheel discs on.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought that was Jess's. Oh.
No, that was Nick Phillips' back garden. That it was only quarter of an hour ride from Jess's house.
Yeah, he's Muswell Hill, wasn't
he? Yeah, just down the road.
So in '85, you started doing the BFA circuit a bit more. Is that right, or is that the year after?
Possibly. I think it was a year after. It was a year after the whole shot incident.
So all right. So '85 whole shot was the year that. So I didn't know this. You was riding for Kuwhara.
Yes.
Was that through Phase 7?
Through Phase 7, mate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what did they give you? One of them freestyle bikes?
Yeah, it was the twin top tube thing.
Twin down tube.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. And it had funny peg things on the forks.
That's right.
I got it the week before, and Hacksaw come out. They come off, and the first time I rode it was the night before the whole shot, I think. Got a train down to Jess's, and Nick Phillips was something to do with he was something to do with it. Can't think what, but the three of us went down the night before, and we got in.
All right.
For a bit of a practice run with Wilkerson was there, and Dave Nuri and stuff, and we got to ride with them the night before. That was my first time on the bike, I think.
All right.
And then the day after.
So
and then
you rode the same quarters that night that you came back to ride the day after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
No, but when you was telling this story before, I assumed that they had practice quarters in the other side and the contest quarters were in. So were they?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So we got to ride on the practice quarters the night before with who else was Ron definitely Ron Wilkerson was there.
Rich Segura.
Yeah, possibly Rich.
That was the other guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went back. So you got the quarters dialed in, I assume.
Yeah, got them dialed in. We had them sussed, and then. Do you want me to go then?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on, please, go on.
So then it's come to my run in the comp, and Sam Woods is on the mic, and he's got blah 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 blah. Eric Steele, and I've come round the corner, this big run up right round from the outside. It's the quarter pipe, and it weren't what we were used to, was it? They'd swapped it for the Skyway one. And Craig had just come back from pipeline, so it was nicely jacked up, and I didn't see it coming back down. Just completely missed it and landed on the front end.
Stayed on to the end, yeah?
Stayed on, yeah. And Kuwhara wouldn't replace the forks. And that was me ride for Kuwhara done.
So that was what a day affair, that sponsorship, or what?
Yeah, well, yeah. 2 days.
48 hours.
48 hours on Kuwhara.
Oh, and you hurt yourself though in that crash, right?
Yeah. Ended up in hospital, but afterwards you couldn't leave Holeshot, could you? To go to hospital. Okay. Yeah, so we stayed till the end, and then it was quite late on. We went to the hospital.
What had you done? Had you done anything bad?
Said there was some internal damage and that, and said, no, I'm staying, mate, I'm getting off. I've got a train to catch.
Oh man!
And we just got off.
And what
They
did you
said, "Oh, it's not too serious then." So we got off.
what did you do? Fold the frame?
No, just the forks. The frame was fine.
Okay.
Just the forks had gone. Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't just give you some more forks and try and get you to keep riding.
Yeah, but someone had put axle to them, hadn't they?
Oh.
And
But still,
someone had took them funny pegs off them.
Jeez. Oh man. So, give us the story of the 540, because suddenly Eric Steele was the man for the 540. And it wasn't just, obviously when we saw it, we hadn't seen you learn it. We just see the sequence, the action bike, and you was like 5 or 6 foot out doing a 540.
I didn't see me learn it either, mate.
Oh, you just winged it?
Nah, kind of. It was at Southsea, and we had 2 quarters set up with a big canyon between them.
Yeah.
And we were just doing this big canyon. It was quite a big one, and I just 360'd it. 360'd the gap because the gap was that big. It's not like a 180 anymore, is it? It's like a big carve. Yeah. So I just 360'd it. And technically, that's a big carve 540, isn't it? Whichever way you want to look at it. And then got a bit higher, until it was like about out. And the gap was getting bigger and bigger. And I'd done a few of them. And I thought, oh, we'll have some of this. And just left it. And then I think I was around Nick Phillips' house. And we were watching, I know it's definitely Tony Hawk. It was one of the Bones Brigades. I don't know which one. Yeah. And they were doing these 540s. And I thought, yeah, just go for it. It's doable like that. Just go for it. And then there was a demo, Faze 7, that day. And I don't know why we hadn't gone with Jess, but I think Joe had come and picked Jess up for some reason. And I was around Nick's. So I got left behind. So me and Nick made our own way there. And it was a Faze 7 demo. I just thought, Tony Hawk's in the back of my mind, didn't he, with these 540s. I just thought, I'll just do it. And I just pulled it straight first time. And that was it, done. Thought, yeah, that's how you learn 540s, mate. Just do them. And that was it from then on.
One shot, yeah, he pulled it.
One shot at
after the 360s, obviously. But.
Yeah, after the 360s. I never tried. No, like you see people learning them like Marco did, and he like kick turn them and all that. I thought, no, I can't be doing that. Just go for it. And then I actually watched the Tony Hawk film. He's got a new film out, hasn't he, Hawk?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I actually watched that, and he was saying the way to learn them is just to do them high. You can't like work your way up on a skateboard. Just do them.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned them, however many years ago. And I thought it was dead mad how the guy who I watched, how I got the inspiration from doing them, says, yeah, that's how you do them. You just go for it. It's just mad how that turned out like that.
I saw that where they're talking about, you have to be 6 foot for it to actually work, haven't they?
Yeah. And that's what I thought. I thought it's just like a 360 pop out, and then you just drop the other half, don't you?
Yeah, lean back a bit further, but
still, I thought that's it. That's how you do them.
Still, a lot can go wrong in that. That's like that sequence is still like embedded in my mind, and everyone my age that's a
the one from Lowestoft.
Huge progression, like massive, like
yeah.
Like there was no you're not like this, you're just like head high, crazy. I always wondered about that. Because it was just out of nowhere, and then you ride with a twist song, right? A couple of contests you rode with a twist song.
I don't know where that come from. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah. So was that the Harlow demo? That wasn't that's Paul, wasn't it?
Paul, yeah. Paul.
Did you ride that?
I'm surprised you haven't seen that one.
I might
have you not seen that video?
I've seen the video, but I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. That was just after Mons. The second Mons ramp competition.
Oh, okay.
I done an alley-oop canyon one and hung the chain ring.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. That was Paul. That was the Harrow demo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me go back a little bit for a second, because you rode King of the Skateparks 85.
Yeah.
Southsea. That was at Southsea, yeah?
Yeah.
How was that?
Shit.
Well, what happened in that one?
It was at Southsea.
It looked shit for anyone who didn't ride the bowl to the left, but yeah.
Yeah, if you weren't Craig O'Neill, it was shit, basically. And that's all I've got to say on the matter, I think.
All right. It didn't look like there was many people there either.
Yeah, if it had been at Rom, I think it'd have been a different story. I think it'd have been a lot closer, a lot fairer. I just think it was one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, because like Jess was airing that bowl, but like not off the extension, so it was instantly two or 3 feet lower than what those guys were going. Like a bit of a deficit, you know.
Yeah, I think the only person that got near him was Carl Westfield, and he'd ridden it before they built the wall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was a local there,
yeah. Yeah. He got probably as high as them, but because they were doing the carving as well, it was just like, you ain't getting near that.
Yeah.
And then my first air as well, the hub exploded on the drain.
Oh, so you entered the contest?
Yeah. I rode Z rims, trying to lose a bit of weight on the old toughs, and because the compression is that big at the bottom of the bowl, the back wheel just folded and just smashed to death
before you even got up.
Before you even got up the other side, and your wheel's dead. That's your first run finished.
Went on the flat bottom. Well, not
there's a
bottom,
I've got a picture of that wheel as well.
Oh, fucking hell. Scrap that contest then. Let's go back.
Yeah, you scrap that. Yeah, that's gone.
Let's go back to 86. So like you knew Nick, Phillip and TLB pretty well in this sort of time period, sort of Paul National and stuff, like Jess's ramp, Nick's ramp.
Yeah. I knew Nick, pretty much. Pretty much. It was me, Jess, and Nick that used to hang out all the time. Yeah,
because they were both Rom locals as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. So how was that like hanging with those guys? Was you there when they sort of started the anarchic adjustment thing?
I actually done Nick's first T-shirts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had used to do screen printing, and I'd done 2. We done a demo with Sam Wood and Billy and the Skyway team.
Stupple.
Billy Stupple and that, and we had T-shirts then. Anarchic adjustment.
Well, was that the logo that was the sticker later on?
Yeah. I think he had the stickers first before. Yeah, he had the stickers first.
All right.
That was the first thing he did. There was like the bright orange ones, and then there was like the clear ones.
That's it. Yeah. That's the ones I remember seeing. What was that? That was, I guess, that was a good vibe then. What did you think of like the way BMX was portrayed, like at this point in time?
Oh, BFA hated us, didn't they?
And what about like just general public?
I never seen much of it. We didn't like. Everyone kept themselves to themselves. You just got on a train, went where you were going, come home, and that was it. No, you never. In them days, you didn't really hang out anywhere.
Yeah.
You went where you had to go, and then come home.
Did your thing and then left. So you didn't like ever think that BMX was a bit sort of looked upon as a bit kiddie back then?
I wouldn't have known.
Oh, you didn't even pay attention?
No. I did what I wanted to do, and what anyone else's thoughts, I weren't bothered.
Oh man, that's a good frame of mind, yeah.
No, you didn't. no one like interacted with anyone else. It was just like you'd all get together at the weekend, do what you had to do, and then that was it. You just hung out with who you hung out with.
Yeah, just had a good time. But by looking back from what you guys were doing, it just looked like you was having fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, also on that point, you probably did the first alley-oop 540, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Did you invent any other tricks that we should know about? It was like, I was going through their mags. I was like, oh, that's a first. That one's a first. No one's tried that before. I was like pretty impressed really by it.
We used to do a few, and then other people would like see it or get the idea, or they'd be doing it at the same time, and so you'd kind of invent it, but then they'd invent it as well. Because it was the 80s, there wasn't all this social media stuff about. So everyone rode what they wanted to ride, and everyone did what they wanted to do, and you didn't know what was going on in Southern California or up north. You just done what you did, and whether you invented it, whether someone else invented it, it seems to be who got in the magazine first doing it, invented it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess there is a natural progression of things as well. But just some things like that 540, when I looked through that mag today, I looked and I was like, wow, this is before Dominguez had the sequence of him doing that big one. And that's what stood out a lot for me as well. It was like,
see, we wouldn't have known that.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
It could have happened at the same time. It could have happened before. He could have been doing it at home.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'd seen Marco do it around. It was round about coping height, wasn't it? Round about lip height.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or just what you call just out, wouldn't you? Or about lip height.
Yeah, lip height. Like, I've got a picture of him from that day. That's his lip height.
Yeah. So that would have been a year or so before. So Marco invented the 540, didn't he? Just because it's progressed then.
Yeah, that's what I would have said. But there's people in America, obviously, who say that Woody.
There will be. And then there's Dominguez does one in the King of the Skateparks, doesn't he? Where he kind of does it. He kind of does it at the side of the full pipe.
That's it.
Where like he looks about as high as Marco's, and then he like kick turns out of it. But I've seen that from a different angle, or it's a different one, and he looks a hell of a lot higher than what I remember it being.
I've seen it.
Whether it's the same one, I don't know.
Yeah, him and Fiola were doing it on that corner piece, like the round. Yeah.
But the one you see in the actual footage of the competition don't look as high as that one I've seen recently. That one I've seen recently looks a hell of a lot higher than that one. Whether it's the same one, I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been in practice or after.
It might have been anything, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And he could have been doing them at home. He could have been doing them elsewhere. That just no one's seen it.
Yeah. So what was the story of Mons Jam when everyone burnt their licenses?
Wasn't that it?
You weren't at that one?
I didn't go the first one, no.
No, that was the second one.
Was it?
Yeah, you've got a picture doing a hand plant.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was the first one.
No, I looked at it today,
I know the first one was a bit chaotic and all that I didn't go to.
That's right, I was going to ask you about the first one, but if you weren't there,
I wasn't at the first one, no. I didn't make it.
So that's the one where people got driven home, yeah? The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a magazine that someone didn't approve of.
Yeah. Oh, so you was at the second one with the license.
I was at the second one, yeah.
But you don't even remember what happened, I guess.
Oh, bits of it.
So the license burning possibly was just a bit of a fuck around that ended up in a magazine and became a big deal, or was it not?
No, I vaguely remember it was something to do with, because of the previous one, people didn't like it. The BFA then got involved and said you can't do it, and anyone taking part's not allowed money. The pro prize got pulled, didn't it?
That's right, yeah.
And you weren't allowed to compete in the BFA if you competed in this, and you wasn't allowed money, and you wasn't allowed to do this, and blah blah blah. So they went fuck you then and burnt the licenses. We won't ride in the BFA then if that's your attitude.
Yeah,
I think that was it.
that was pretty good.
I remember I won A class, didn't I? And I got a skateboard deck as a prize.
Oh, so that was the one with like
because they pulled. There was a sponsorship. I think there was meant to be sponsorship, but it got pulled.
And
they weren't allowed to give money. Yeah.
Oh, so you won that? I didn't know you won that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I got first in that one.
Oh, amazing! I don't think they put any results in that mag, but yeah.
Yeah, Canning rode B class, didn't he?
Canning did.
Yeah, because A class was a bit mad. And Canning rode B. I remember him saying he rode B class.
He was good then as well, wasn't he? 86, he was killing it still.
Yeah, I'll tell you who was good though. Hassel, Jason Hassel, man. He blew my mind that day. Honestly, because I just thought he was a flatlander, and he turned up and he smashed it. And I was like, "What are you doing, man? How come you're this good on a ramp?" I just didn't have him down as a ramp rider like he was, and he was. I think he won highest air and everything. Hassel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Oh, he shocked me that day.
Oh, that's crazy because he used to go Rom as well, didn't he?
Yeah. But I don't remember a lot of things from Rom.
All right.
But I do remember I was like, "What are you doing? How come?" I couldn't believe how high he was going that day.
Yeah, he had a sweet picture in the mag doing that big air.
Yeah. What's a flatland rider doing going this high?
And also that year, Chingford Jam happened, which I was at actually.
Yeah.
And that was another, like, so you saying about the BFA and then not liking that jam, I didn't know that traced back to the first Mons jam. But there's already history with those guys, right? With one of them, anyway.
Yeah, there's there was a lot of influence within the BFA with certain team managers, should I say?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that.
I actually got kicked out of a competition because of him.
Oh yeah, what had you done?
Nothing.
So then we had Chingford Jam, which was kind of like the similar crowd, right?
Yeah.
So was you riding for Phase 7 then, or M Zone?
Don't know. Possibly. Don't know. Can't remember.
Yeah, I remember M Zone. Everyone had M Zone everything. Like it was a big deal at that jam. Yeah, that was That was quite a fun day. It was, other than for Dean Rush, but like everyone else seemed to enjoy it. You know.
Yeah.
That was a rough start. That was early on as well. Can you remember? Did you guys camp there maybe that night?
No, we wouldn't have camped there.
Okay.
Or would? Yeah.
I remember
possibly. I don't know.
I remember you guys like all turn up with beers and stuff. Like, but obviously we were local there, so we used to go there every day. And it was like you, Jason Lunn. I don't know if Andy Shahara was there at that point, but like Pepe was down. There was like a lot of people. Dean Rush.
Yeah, I would have turned up. I would have been with Dean and Zoid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I would have come up from Croydon.
Damon and there was a lot.
Damon,
of people there, yeah.
Tony Mack was there, wasn't he?
That's it. Yeah. That was good, man. And then then we go to Whole Shot, which is a bit more successful this year, right?
Second.
Whole Shot with Dennis McCoy and Dino DeLuca.
Yeah.
So you rode that, but you rode good that year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had made your own bars. That was that year.
Yeah. That was my second one. Yeah.
All right. What was the story with the bars? Like, who made them? Like, how did that come about? I remember that they were like knee saver-ish, weren't they?
Yeah, they were before knee saver.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It was just like I was learning look backs at the time, and I was finding it hard, and I just wanted more room. So we just like wanted them to cut back a bit and give you a bit more room. It was double sleeved on the corners to give it the strength, because they weren't as wide, a lot narrower in the middle, and they were all right then.
How did you make them? Did you make them?
No, they were made by Vincent Frames.
Oh, okay. And you had like the stickers and maybe T-shirts. Did you have as well?
Yeah, T-shirts and stickers. Yeah, we had a few pair of bars made, and we were going to sell them through Phase 7, but it just didn't work out financially.
Okay, what, they're too expensive or something?
Yeah, they were quite dear to make, because they were like 1, 4, 5, 6-piece bars. So it's quite. They were quite heavy as well, really, for what they were, but they were strong as hell. Oh. And Joe says his markup. By the time you got them made, got them painted, and then sold them through Phase 7, you'd have to do them like Dave Curry did, like sell them like personally yourself.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if that was like some of the sort of inspiration behind that, the Action Zone thing, but totally different product and image, but like you could see how someone
not
did
really, not really.
Don't think so?
No.
The logo was like the crazy head, wasn't it? Like the
yeah.
Do I remember that right? Yeah. So,
yeah.
But the shape of the bars was different, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot different, but it's still like your local Rom boy making his own bars.
Yeah. No,
that bit.
That bit I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. So that bit was very, very similar, but the rest of it was different. Yeah. So yeah, you wrote good in that content. I've got a picture somewhere of you doing like a 540 at 5 or 6 feet on one of them quarters.
Yeah. But then again, it would still BFA rules, wasn't it, where you had to do half flatland, half ramps.
Yeah. So that still don't work for you, does it? Really?
It still don't work. No.
So that's one of the things that was quite unique about you, though. Is like you just didn't do them. You didn't follow them patterns.
No.
You just did your thing. Like you almost see it. To me, you see it differently to most riders on that circuit. You know.
Yeah, like, it seemed to be that the BFA was set up. You had to do both, didn't you? You had to do your flatland and your vert riding.
Yeah.
It started the first year of the BFA. It was that whole shot was the end of that year. It was right. Like you had one run and it was half and half, and you had to do certain tricks within that. They'd pick some tricks and you had to do them as part of your routine.
Compulsories, yeah.
Compulsories, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And then the second year, they split it into flatland and vert riding separate, but it was still a combination score. And it wasn't until the year after that where you could ride one or the other.
Oh, right.
So I couldn't progress out of the masterclass onto masterclass and vert and pro rider because I wouldn't do the flatland. So you're instantly marked down.
You're stuck.
You're stuck in amateur for 3 years. It wasn't until after that when they split it up that I moved into masterclass, and then finally I think I rode one comp as a pro.
All right. So that's like that takes you into 87, which makes sense because then you started getting picks again at them contests.
That was still amateur then. That was me last ride as an amateur. Yeah, still couldn't progress.
On the red line, like you were doing like real quick look backs then. There's a few pictures.
Yeah, that was early 87. That was still,
And I just read a caption today about like, you know, Eric Steele, he's changed his style, he's smoothed out, blah, blah, blah. It was like, do you remember that caption, yeah?
Kind of.
Yeah, they were kind of like, I don't know what they were getting at, but it was like, to me, it stood out as a bit of a weird caption. It was like,
Yeah.
It's just like...
whatever.
Yeah, it just seemed like a caption of, like, I saw some captions before, and there was kind of, one of them which stuck out, which I thought was, looking back at it now, it was like pretty insulting. It said, it was you doing the hand plant at Mons, and bear in mind, you just said you came first, and it said, naturally it said something like naturally still, naturally aborted, and I was like, that's not really a good terminology for anyone riding a bike, you know. Like I just thought that was odd, you know. And then I was obviously, yeah, exactly. I was flicking through the mag and I noticed that one that said, oh, you know, he's changed his style and blah blah blah. But I was like, he didn't really. He just learnt like a couple more tricks that maybe he didn't do before. Like, yeah, it just seemed weird. Yeah. So yeah, so 87, you was a bit of a regular at them contests.
Yeah, well, I was living up north then, and Jess had gone to America. It was like it's the only way you get to meet your mates and that, wasn't it? Hang out with the boys and stuff. Didn't go Rom no more. Everywhere was dead, really. That was the only place to ride, really.
Was the BFA comps?
Yeah, just hang out for a bit and then go to BFA comps. They were on nearly every week.
Yeah, I spoke to Andy.
Every other week.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. Because there was nationals and regionals, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's depending on where you was from, like.
That's it.
Yeah.
And another thing that stuck out to me watching some old video of you, which had come up a few years back, was like you was doing opposite airs before anyone did opposite airs.
Yeah.
Well, not before anyone, but before anyone had seen them at that point in time. Like, because early people did them, but like, and then what else I noticed was you'd learn to look back, and then you was like doing the opposite air so that you could do the turn down.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I was fucking impressed with. I was like, that is so far ahead of its time. And I was like, not many people, I don't think, noticed that at the point in time, you know?
I used to do them the other way, but it's hard to do them goofy-footed.
Yeah, your foot's in the way.
Yeah, unless you throw a can in like Terry Jenkins is known for it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the only way you can really get your bars round. And the only other way is to either do them the opposite direction or switch your feet round, which I did later on.
Oh, so you also did them switch-footed?
Yeah.
Which again is that's forward thinking. That's good. That's good shit, man.
So if you watch the whole shot video, the last one,
yeah,
I ride half the run goofy footed and half regular footed, if you like.
Oh, okay.
I learned to ride with feet both ways, and there's a 540 in it, and that's my first ever go at riding with a regular footed 540. That one.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
There's a 540 canyon at the end, and it's actually regular footed, and it's the first one I'd ever tried. I'd only learnt to ride regular footed a couple of weeks before that contest.
Oh, well, and that was the 86 hole shot.
87.
87. Okay.
87, yeah. Well, Josh White.
Yeah. Dino DeLuca, Josh White. Oh no, not Dino DeLuca. Sorry, Hoffman, Wilkerson.
Yeah,
Josh
Matt's
White,
there. Yeah, Matt's there. Yeah. I stayed at Carlo's for a week or so before and learned how to ride funny-footed.
and then, like, you ended up riding for Skyway for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, how did that come about?
You asked me.
I am.
You've probably got more idea than me.
Oh, I've no idea. I just see a few pictures.
I've got no idea either.
So
one of the maddest things that I'd never have dreamt a bit about it. And then, do you want to ride for Skyway? Nah, fuck off. He goes, no, God, it's for real. Like, this was just before it was the last contest of the Nationals, just before the Tizer Worlds. And I was going, nah, you're having a laugh, aren't you? No, it's genuine, like, go on then, because I was looking for a sponsor at the time. And next thing, Carlos rocked up. He goes, here's your bike and here's your gear and that. I'm going, I thought you were messing, man. He goes, no, there you go. All done. I couldn't believe it.
So you had to go, you went through Carlo for that? You didn't have to speak to anyone else?
It all came through Carlo.
Oh, wow.
I didn't speak to the manager or nothing.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, we all got driven round. You know, everyone else was on the coaches and that. Skyway team in their own little fun bus, and I was on that and everything. Me and Matt sat at the back because Matt, it's like a tight knit group, and me and Matt was just sat at the back, like, what's going on here?
And that was...
we were getting driven around. We were getting driven around and all that, and never spoke to no one.
So that was for the Tizer Worlds circuit in '87.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, how did you end up off of Skyway?
Quit.
Oh, you just quit.
Everyone quit after the whole shot.
Oh, okay.
I think that was like the end for quite a few riders. Just everyone like grew up.
Yeah,
I guess BFA was dying.
Yeah,
everyone was riding half pipes now.
That's right.
And BFA was like, it was dying. I think Craig left for America, didn't he? Jess had gone. Lee and Greg had gone.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty much dead on its arse. I spoke to Laidlaw since, and that's when he stopped as well.
87, that was the cut-off, yeah?
87, that whole shot was like pretty much the end of it for everyone, competition-wise.
Yeah.
Just riding round and stuff after that. That was BFA was, I think, finished that comp.
Yeah.
For a few years anyway, and then there was a couple of half-pipe ones, weren't there? And then there was, I think I went to one more after that in like round about the 90s.
Yeah, was it Alfreton maybe? Champion of Champs or something?
Yeah, maybe two then. I'm lying. Maybe two.
Okay.
There was that, what was his name where he broke his wrist doing that backflip?
Yeah. John.
John. I was at that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was.
And then there was one at Alfreton. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And that was your last BFA.
Yeah.
All right. So that explains it. And yeah. So I was going to say you kind of in 88, 89, we didn't really. You wasn't really about in the public eye as much as you have been recently.
No. 88, 89. Just died off a bit, just like riding here and there, but no comps, I don't think. And then started riding again, right, 1991. Done a couple of comps. Was at the Hoffman Day, as they call it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I rode... Me and Bestwick went off to ride. We rode in Paris a couple of weeks after that. And I think that was my last ever comp.
Okay. What was that, the Worlds or something? Yeah,
it was the World Team Display Team Championships or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know about that.
Because you try and find a video of it as well. I used to have it on video, and I can't find it anywhere now.
Well, was that people from all over the world? Or?
Yeah, but I don't think any Americans turned up. It was all over Europe. Europe. It was in Paris. It was quite good, actually. Nice ramps, I remember.
These big wide quarter pipes. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Big wide blue quarter.
Yeah.
I've seen some footage of that somewhere.
Big tall one. Big,
Harlow,
about 9, 10 foot. About 9 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've seen some footage of that somewhere, yeah. So you rode the UK King of Vert. You rode a couple of them, did you? Can you remember them?
Yeah. Was it Stockton and Mallet or something?
Shepton Mallet, yeah.
Shepton Mallet, yeah.
And then there was Mansfield, maybe, or
one at Mansfield.
Outdoor.
The outdoor one, and then there was the
Matt one.
The Matt Hoffman one, yeah. But I crashed in practice at that one, so I didn't ride in that one.
Oh, okay.
But I rode in the other two. Oh, there was American Adventure Theme Park as well. There was one.
Oh, yeah. I remember
that one.
They were quarter pipe contests, though, weren't they?
Yeah, that one was. The others were half pipe ones, yeah.
That was when Roy and Diane started doing it. They sort of brought it back a bit, didn't they? They were different, yeah. They were a bit more relaxed than the rest.
Yeah, it was Roy that took us to Paris.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
He drove all the way to Paris and back.
What, in a
Picking
minibus or
everyone,
something?
yeah, in a minibus with all the bikes in trailers, picking everyone up on the way and then taking them all back and dropping them all off.
Oh man,
Proper geezer.
So when did you get out of? You rode Mons Jam in '91 as well, didn't you? You remember that one?
Yeah.
And then when did you get out of riding?
Possibly after that. I think that would have been about it. I think
One of the last ones.
Yeah.
You didn't get into like the street thing with Nick and Jess and that, or did you?
Nah.
No.
Not really. Not my thing, really.
Yeah, no, I can tell by what you was doing that.
Yeah, street riding. It's more. You spend more time going from place to place, don't you? Oh, I know this good spot, and then you ride for like an hour, and someone's dug it up, and then oh shit, or there's a car parked in the way or something, and then you ride for an hour somewhere. Oh, we'll go here then. And I just thought, nah, I can't be arsed with this.
Yeah, I can see that your way of thinking is different to what those guys were doing at that point in time.
Whereas if you go to an half pipe, you know it's going to be open. There's no car's going to be in the way. And
I've got a story that's travelled with that you might not know about. That I've heard about for years, and it's about a multi-story car park drop in Harlow.
Right.
Is it Valacy Avenue drop or something? Am I saying that right?
Don't know.
Okay, so it probably didn't happen then. But there's a rumour that you jumped out of a multi-story car park into a bush in Harlow back in the day. This has been going around for so many years as well. Pretty funny, yeah.
Is it? Oh, I thought you meant the other one at the Halifax building.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I've mixed the two up. So
there's two. There's two.
So you've dropped out of two, or you've dropped out of none?
No, there was one there used to be a bank at the Halifax building in Harlow, and the first story of the multi-story was about probably 10 foot high. Just jumped out of that onto the bank.
What, foot planted out, or?
Yeah, for like foot plant drop out kind of thing. Or dropped in, if you like.
So there's validity to it. It did actually happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The other one into a big bush. Yeah, I know about that one as well.
All right. So they both happened. Oh, mate. And I've also got a story about a cut and shut Vector Mark II and a Curtis.
Vector Mark II and a Curtis?
Yeah. Is this?
No, I don't know nothing about that.
Okay, that's fantasy.
I know about a Vector Mark II that got a bit broke.
All right, then maybe someone's mixed up them stories with a broken Curtis, but
no, there was that Vector took a lot. You know, it got abused. That Vector. I landed heavy at Jess's, and the head tube split clean up the front.
I was like seamed or something, I guess.
No, just split straight up the front, just opened up, and I still had the handlebars in my hand and the front wheel still attached to them on the forks and everything. And I'm there on my face on the floor going, what the fuck happened there? And the bike's just split straight up the head tube. So I got that replaced, and then the back end snapped, and I got the back end welded back on it. If that's what the story's come from.
That must be the story, yeah. It's a bit concocted though. So when you moved up north, who did you end up riding with?
The train.
Oh, you were just on your lonesome on the train?
Yeah, just on the train every week. I used to finish work or college on a Friday, get on the train Friday night, and then get the last train home from Euston.
All right.
At like 2:30, get into Chester at like 3, 4 in the morning, and then go to work, and then wait till Friday on the train straight after college, back down London.
Back to it.
Yeah.
So you didn't meet it? You must have met the other guys that were riding like in them times, like Jim, John Taylor.
Oh, yeah. Later on.
That was later, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was like years later.
So that was like early 90s when you got back into it, I guess.
Yeah. Met John Taylor at Chester Skatepark, if you can call it that.
Oh yeah, I went there. Yeah, the half demolished one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
you've been there.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah.
It's smooth as hell, isn't it?
I went. It was half rubble. I went with John and Zach. Actually,
that's it. Yeah.
So did you used to ride that?
I believe it's sandbags with that was covered in plaster, cement or something.
That's what a few of the skate parks were back then.
Yeah, that's what that was.
I've seen another one built like that.
Yeah.
So
horrendous.
Do you still ride now?
I've still got a bike. I have a rollabout.
Okay, cool.
But not really. I had a pretty bad crash. I was riding at what's it called in Manchester? Beast.
Okay, yeah.
And I can't be doing this no more, mate. I'm too old for this shit. Because you still think you can do it, can't you?
Well, you can remember how to do it, yeah.
Yeah, and you're thinking, this. I used to do these day in, day out, and what are you fucking about at? Can't do it, and you just go for it, and then it weren't a good idea.
What do you do? And hurt yourself bad, or just a reminder that fuck this, I ain't doing this anymore?
Yeah, missed the back pedal on like a stupid peg grind.
Oh, okay.
I just went flat on the bottom on my arse and thought, nah, man, that hurt too much, man. Can't be doing that.
Well, it's good to hear you still got a bike, though. It's still in the blood, isn't it?
Yeah, I've spent, since I was 10 years old, skating and riding bikes and that, I've always dreamt of, imagine if I had a skate park near me. And I've got Ramp 1, he's at the end of my street here now. And I've been once because it's shit. You spend all your life, don't you, in a British winter, going, I wish we had an indoor skate park near here. And there's one at the end of the street, and it's shit. And I've been once.
Oh, man.
I've been a couple of times, but only once with my bike.
So, how do you look back on them BMX days back then? Like, it sounds like you enjoyed it.
Best days of your life, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like from talking to you.
Yeah, I had a chat with Andy Brown last night, and brings back memories, man.
Yeah, man. He called me today.
You haven't seen these people in 30 odd years, and you could just message them and like they'll drop everything and speak to you. What does that tell you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's fucking.
What does that tell you? It tells you everything, doesn't it?
There's a bond there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And what was it the other day? I messaged Greg Giott.
Oh yeah.
And he'll chat to you for however long, just out of the blue. Oh fuck! See you. Just drop everything, don't you?
Yeah. Did you? We did an episode with him. Did you? I don't know if you've seen our channel or not, but.
Yeah, I seen it yesterday. I thought I've seen all the others where you're all sat down and you got your cameraman and all that. And I thought that ain't going to happen with me, is it? I know who else it never happened with, Greg Giott. So I messaged him. How did you find it?
Oh, cool, man. No, that's good.
Yeah.
No, I do people that I think are important. I'll just do however. You know?
Yeah, that's cool.
Just try and do it.
I'm glad you think we're important.
No, fucking hell, man! Like, so the era of bike riding that you're from is generally is overlooked. Like, people are into the boom days, you know, and they make a big deal out of the boom days, but they don't make it happened after that, and that's the important bit for me. That's the real dudes, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is fucking nice. I'm glad you watched it. Yeah, if you did watch it anyway. But
there's a few in there. I thought, I haven't watched them, but I should really, because
they're long, like, but
they are quite long. So, well, 3 of them are like I consider like good mates of mine. Well, you still do it after 30 years. You still class them as your mates, really.
Yeah.
And I thought, Greg Geott, Zach Shaw, Andy Brown, I like skip through them all, see what they had to say. I thought, I know what to say now.
Oh man, well,
hated all of them. Just put up with them for a laugh. No, that's wrong.
They all had good things to say about you as well, so it's all good.
No, that's cool. No, but like when I was building my bike, you just Harlow, I'm after a bike. He's the man to see if you're after a bike, isn't he? And he's like, what do you need? Tell me what you need and I'll sort it. And then you phone Zach, have you ever built one of these? How the fuck does this go together? I've got one of them, I'll send it you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man. It's like it's a strong bond, isn't it, when you've been through that stuff with those people. Like, still, friends for over 30 years with some of these people, like, definitely.
Yeah, but you don't even have to speak to them that often.
Yeah.
Like, I had a chat not long ago with Cannon.
Yeah.
And be it wrong or be it, I never spoke to Cannon that much, really. It was like, all right, how's it going? Yeah, well, what are you up to? This, that, and the other. And you can just, Mike, how's it going, guy? And he's like, yeah. And had a good chat with him. After 30 odd years of not talking to him.
He's someone I want to get on, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, not on a Friday night, though. I think he likes his music on a Friday night, from what I've seen on Facebook.
Oh, man. All right, well, I'm out of questions. But that was a fucking pleasure, man. You filled me in with some fucking amazing stories and stuff I didn't know.
I'll tell you a mad one which I told to someone else, but you'll think this is fucking mental, right? When I was at Alshot, that first one, we said like we got a ride the night before with Wilkerson and that.
Yeah.
He had a pair of Woody Itsons blue with all these 2-hip stickers on, and I think he bent them. And he was going to throw them. And I said, don't throw them, man. He said, why, do you want them? And I said, fucking right. And he goes, yeah, I'll have them then, right? So they come up. They're like Wilkie's bars. So they come home with me. And then we went Milton Keynes, like, for that book launch. It was Don Phillips actually told. And I had my lad with me. And you go along, don't you, all these pros, and they're all signing the book, and he opens this. I've never seen the book before because it was launch day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's like, Ron's opened the book. He goes, I'll find a picture of me, and he's pulled it open, and it's a picture of these Woody Itson bars, and he goes, and he signed it Ron Wilkerson. I went, fuck off, Ron, and I told him the story. He goes, nah, I don't believe that's true. but Ron didn't believe it either, and I go, if it weren't them, they look exactly the same as them bars. How mad's that, man?
Well, what, have you still got them?
Nah.
No, long gone, yeah?
Long gone, them. But it was just how, he goes, there was just a picture of these bars that looked like exactly the same ones. And he goes, I'll just find a picture of me. I can't find one. The picture of these bars will do. They were mine. And I went, fucking hell, they were mine and all, mate. That's just nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Fucking hell. He's. I don't think he'd remember anyway, would he, Ron?
Nah, he wouldn't. No.
He's kind of he's kind of shocked. But man, all right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here.
Right, cool.
Seriously, pleasure. Thank you very much.